Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sacred Para, where we invest in play. All right. So today I am here. Hello, Danny Popper. Hello, Deb Owen 796. How are you doing today? I am here today on a lovely Saturday, and I am bringing to you storyline content. And I have an awesome, wonderful guest, not just one, but two. I have one Broken Waffle who will be joining us today. Hello, Coach Play, as well as Hunter, who comes from Fun Size Girl in a 1/6 World. So I'm really, really excited to be able to bring them on as guests to talk to us and teach us how they do their account, how they do their wonderful Barbie page. As you know, Coach Play is my husband, spelled with an I and not a Y, an I. And in case you need any fitness needs, any encouragement, motivation, a coach who's going to be able to take you to where your goals are for this year, contact Coach Play at Coach Play on Instagram, as well as on Facebook, as well as the CoachPlayExperience.com. So definitely check him out. I have the QT3000. I hope I said that right, who has just joined. Thank you so much for joining. I'm not able to say hi virtually through the little hand wave, but I'm able to say hi right here. I have Key Dolly who just joined. Thank you so much for joining. As you know, this is Sacred Para, where we invest in play. Adult play, that is. And so we talk about how you can be able to play with your dolls and your Legos. And if you're a gamer, we're wanting to talk about that as well. I love gaming. I don't know how many people know that, but I love Tekken. I love Soul Calibur. I love all of those things. Hi! All right, we got Fun Size Girl in a 1/6 World. So we're going to go ahead and join them in right now. If you have not seen their page, if you are not following their page, I suggest for you to do that. You are going to be able to learn so much drama in a way that that really does essentialize who we are, right, as adults, but yet being able to have our toys. So I'm going to dial them in right now. I'm hitting invite. Hi! Hello! I was like, I'm hitting invite and it wouldn't go through. Hello! How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm so glad to have you on here. I know your phone screen's going sideways. I'll see if we can get you in. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I was dialing you in at the same time, and I heard something on the other side. I was like, I think they could be in here.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay.
Awesome. How are you?
Good. How are you? Well, hey, Deborah.
Doing
I
good.
mean, Fun Size.
As some people may know, and some people don't know, you guys are sisters in real life.
Yes.
Yes, looking like beautiful twins. When you guys send me the photos, I've seen you guys together. Like whenever you're doing like your videos and you're showing yourself shopping, I was like, oh, they look alike. But then I saw your photos, I was like, oh my God, they look like twins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you twins?
No.
I have to ask. Are you twins? No.
I'm the oldest.
What?
Yeah, and she's the baby. I'll be right back.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you.
But yeah,
my husband is like my tech person, so he just came in to help me when he saw I was sideways. So he came in and made all these.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here. All of this right here, this whole like studio setup is all husband and my sons, but definitely all husband. Background, ring lights, all of it. I just like, I was just like getting pretty, you know what I mean? Like doing like all the makeup and stuff. You know, he's doing all the other stuff. I was like, shoot, I don't know how to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. You girls are looking awesome today. I thank you for joining me. I have been trying to get one Broken Waffle to talk to me on live for quite some time. And then I saw her with her sister and I said, okay, now I see you on the video. Come and join me. So I'm glad you girls are here. You ladies are here. You look so awesome. I thank you. One Broken Waffle, just to let everybody know, is actually the inspiration for this hair today, because you sent me, yes, a while back, you sent me a picture and you were like, hey, you can do barrel twists with your hair.
That's what I had.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, I can't. And I really hadn't thought about it. So all this week I was like in barrel twists. which was a nice little style. Yeah, and I was like, I took it down, and I thought of you, so I want to thank you
It
for
looks
that.
good.
Thank you,
My
thank
brother
you.
Slater, my family. Thank you, Slater, for tuning in. We love you,
Hey,
There you go.
little brother.
yeah.
So I'm really excited about having you ladies here. I want to know, just for everybody else to know, is this your first live?
It is
Like this,
in this form. Yeah.
style, yes.
I said I was gonna get confetti. I get so excited. I'm gonna get confetti next time. But yes, I get excited. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. I trust you. I thank you guys for trusting me to have your first
And
live with. I
thank you
appreciate it.
for inviting us and having us with you today.
Thank you. I love your storylines. I do. I do. So with that, I want to know from both of you, and you can decide who's gonna, go first. But what is your background as a writer?
Broken Waffle, go first.
We've been writing since we were kids. Wrote the first 2 books in the 4th grade. And then, I was an English major in college, and I started writing screenplays and poetry. And then I moved on to writing novels, and now we're telling doll stories.
Wow.
And
Okay.
for me, I started writing again as a child. Wrote my first short story in the 3rd grade. Continued writing, started writing poetry really heavy in the 5th and 6th grade, and continued writing. I have a bachelor's degree in journalism. I have a master's degree in theater studies, and then I have a second master's in teaching English, and I'm currently earning my doctorate in education. So just been writing pretty much my whole life. And we have been writing together pretty much our whole lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I love this. I love this. This is so rich and textured. So how do you guys find collaborating together? Is it easy for you because you've been doing it for so long?
Yeah.
Or does it have challenges?
It's extremely easy. We've been doing this since we were kids. Like, we used to play Barbies when we were younger, and we called them Barbie episodes. So we would spend all day planning and making clothes and doing our set, and then the next day we would play all day, and like, this is what this episode is going to be like. This is what this episode is going to be like. So we've been doing it since we were young.
And do a lot of improv dialogue. Mm-hmm. So we talk through what our characters are going through, and then we talk out our dialogue, and then we go ahead and type it up.
Mm-hmm. I like that. And of course, we have this awesome, amazing pandemic going on. And I say that sarcastically. Yeah. How easy is it for you guys to collaborate? Are you able to do that in person? Or is it, do you have to do it through email?
For the most part, in person. Like, we would be together right now if it wasn't for the snow. That was the plan.
Yeah,
to be together today.
Today's a hair weekend, and she does my hair for me, which I.
Okay.
But so I was supposed to be there this weekend. Snow, couldn't do it. So that's the only reason we're not in the same location today.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, because I know I've talked to maybe like 2 other doll accounts, and they do collaboration. Of course, we see other doll accounts that do collaborations as well. And that's always the questions, like, how are you able to piece together that particular scene or the dialogue, which way that you're doing it. And I admire how you ladies are able to create your collaboration with both pages. Is it easier now that Instagram has the collaboration portion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or is it a little bit more, difficult?
I think it's easier because I trust her and she trusts me. So I'm like, look, you can go ahead and you can do dialogue for Lauren, because I know that you already know the story. So it's going to be pretty much in agreement with what I do as well.
Yeah. And knowing her characters helps write dialogue for them, because I've gotten to know her character. So it's like a soap opera. You would know what the character would be able to say or do in this situation.
Yeah.
I agree. Do you guys each have each other's dolls at home? Like, do you have a Lauren at home? Do you have a Hunter at home? Or do you just bring your dolls together?
We will bring them together.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay. So just in case you guys are thinking about a collaboration, or if you already are doing a collaboration, just know there's so many different ways. You can either have, each other's dolls and you do the pictures, or you can join together, take the pictures, and then create the dialogue. So I do like that. What is your personal interest in storyline? I do know that you guys have an extensive background that you just shared in writing. What made you ladies decide to go the storyline writing with your dolls, is instead of just taking random pictures or taking fashion pictures?
It was just another way to tell stories to use the dolls. And I know this is something that she likes a lot. And so I got into it too, so then we can have something else to bond us and we could do together.
Yes, yes, yes. How do you hear your characters' voices? Because you guys do have a lot of different characters, as do I. So how do you hear the individual voices? What process do you take?
I hear them as characters that they are. So they all have different voice tones. And some of my characters, I haven't, articulated that to other people, but some of my characters have accents and they come from different places. So I hear them as distinctly as I would hear a musician. Like, you know how certain musicians have a sound and you hear their voice and immediately you know it's them. So when I hear them in my I know who it is because I hear them.
I like that. I like that so much. We're definitely, we're into music. I think anytime whenever you're creative, you get into music. And so we were listening to Anthony Hamilton today, and I told my kids, I was like, he has a very distinctive voice, very rustic. Yes, it's uncomparative, very masculine, very rustic. You just, you can distinguish who he is according to, his beats and his rhythm. So when you say that, that resonates with me as far as, how musicians are. And each one of them, sometimes even just from like the very first note, you know who you're dealing with. So I like that. How did you get involved with the doll community on Instagram?
For me, I started because I do a lot of Pinterest, and I found a page. I'm like, oh my gosh, her pictures are awesome. And then I found her on Instagram, and it was Miss Bar None. And I love her page because she does a lot with the food. And, that's what I like to do. And I got hooked on it from there because her stories are awesome too. I think the one I found, they were doing like the soup kitchen for Thanksgiving, and the twins were fighting in it, and it was just so much drama. And I'm like, oh my God, we can do it too.
I love it. How about you?
I got started with it during the pandemic. Like I said, I went to school for education as well, and I am a teacher. So something I would get Broken Waffle to do is she would put little nuggets or Easter eggs on her page, and my students who would follow her page would come in and tell me, I'd ask like a bonus question, would we do this weekend? And if the kids could tell me what was on the page for the weekend, they would get extra points on an assignment.
Oh, wow.
So I would give them extra points that way. And then when the pandemic hit, it was like, okay, what's something I can do with all this time that I have? Because even though I'm a student, I was like, okay, I'm at home all the time. What am I going to do? I'm playing with my dolls anyway. And so Broken Waffle was like, you should create a page. And then our dolls can collaborate on the page. They can do stuff together on the page. And so that's what I did.
I love that. I love that. And what made you get into food?
Her.
Because now for myself, I was gifted some food from you, and I've shown it on there with my characters Heidi and Kai. And I'm telling you, the pizza that we got from you was amazing. I wanted to eat it myself. For real, it looked like miniature, like real life pizza. You do really, really good. So what made you get into food?
Well, it was something that she liked because she was always, messing with her dolls. I'm like, I'm going to make your dolls some food. And then I started and then just kept getting better at it. And now I really, really like it. I can't wait to show y'all what I made last night and today.
Please do.
I went through my Broken Waffle stash. That's what I'm calling it. And I have so much food from her just for over the years. And I want to do to the Pussycat Doll song. Don't you wish your sister was hot?
so jealous. Y'all know I don't have a sister.
Oh,
Like,
God.
I got all kinds of sisters here, though. But I didn't grow up with a sister, so I'm like, man. But I got 3 girls. I got 10 kids, period. But I got 3 girls out of my 10. And I'm really, really praying. Yeah, I'm praying that they have that tight relationship like you ladies do.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to work at it, but you know, we're here for each other.
Yeah. All the work we put in has definitely been worth it through the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You folks, to have a bond is to make a choice.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Honestly, that's real talk. To have a bond is I'm gonna write that down. To have a bond is to have a choice. And that's real because you know, even in your intimate relationship, to have a bond is to have a choice.
Yeah,
And in your relationship with each other's siblings, I imagine that's the same as well.
Mm-hmm. And we don't always
So
get along.
I love
like
it.
we don't always get along. We butt heads, but we make up really quick.
yeah. And never lasts more than a couple hours, if that.
Yeah.
Good. Because you know, you hear about siblings and they have weeks and years between each other without speaking over something that they probably even forgot was the origin of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And still, you know, I'm mad at you. Why? And they really cannot figure out why they're mad at each other. But it's been so long now, pride is setting. So I love the fact of being that, you know, you're able to work together. You're able to have a hobby together, enjoy each other together. You said that you were creating assignments in school for your students with her page. So I love it. It's very beautiful. It really, really is. I admire it. I admire your relationship. So yes, like I said, I did get your food. You have amazing food. You can really feel the love that is involved with what you do. And so I thank you for it, and other people who have made purchases and been gifted your food items. Thank you as well, because it's very beautiful. I would like to ask you questions about your main characters.
Okay.
So how did we get, you know, Lauren and Darius and Hunter and Phoenix? How did these awesome characters come about?
When they came about, like in the beginning of the pandemic, I think at the end of 2019, I think I first introduced them, and they kind of just, I had these characters. I'm like, what am I going to do for their lives? And I basically let them tell their own story. So I have like a goal in mind, what I want to happen, but I don't force everything. Like, I don't make an outline and say I have to stick to these points. I let it evolve as my characters evolve.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
where is she? I love her. Like, I love her. And she's a thick Barbie, so that's why I love her even more, because those skinny Barbies, I don't knock anybody who has them, but they're close to more real for me. And I just felt like it would be a good way to tell her story as a larger Barbie, you know, give her a full life.
Yes.
Because we have full lives.
That's the same thing here.
We have full lives, you know, even though we're a little bit larger than other people, we live just like everybody else. And I wanted my dolls to as well.
I agree.
Same with Fun Size Girl. She's a petite doll. I definitely wanted to play with a petite doll. When Barbie came out with the petite line, as well as the tall and the curvy, I was so excited, because for years I'm like, you know, all of us are not the same height. And in real, I am very fun size. Anyone who has met me in person can tell you I'm not 5 feet. I am 4'8.5", 4'9", fun size, if you feel me. So that's why my page is Fun Size Girl in a 1/6 world, because my main character, Hunter, she is fun size. And I thought, when I wanted to create my character, I wanted her to be a complement to Lauren's character, which is why we had them be sisters.
Yeah.
And how Phoenix came about was, you know, Hunter, like so many single women, and I am married, I'm very grateful. Hunter, like so many single women, she's looking for love, and she wants to be in a relationship, and she wanted to be loved, but she had made some bad choices in the past, which we kind of allude to. Her best friend George is like, you know, one of her rocks, and we have them all back here. But
yes,
I wanted Phoenix to really be all about her, because I think we all want a love like that, a love that's just all about us. It's for us. And recently in the story, we see Phoenix make a huge, huge mistake. Huge mistake.
Yeah.
But I think in that, I mean, he's human, y'all. He's gonna make, well, he's doll, but in character, he's human. He's going to make mistakes because there is no perfect love. It's how you choose to work it out.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I love the twist that you have, because even once we find out that she's pregnant, you then find out, because at first it was like, oh, Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
But then you had the twist because the timeline of it all. It's like, oh, okay, was that she would have gotten pregnant before he would have,
Yeah.
thrown away her birth control pills. So I like that twist in there. Like, it was gonna happen either way. And it does cause you to have to adult. Like, my husband and I, we got married February 17th of like 2008.
Oh, wow.
And for whatever reason, in my mind, I thought like it was going to take 2 to 5 years to get pregnant. I really did. I did. I was like, okay, we've been courting this whole time and there was no pregnancy. So surely, we got 2 to 5 years, a nice cushion time. Somewhere between that honeymoon, like that first month, I was just being really excited and having all that marital bliss. We got pregnant. I was like, no, it doesn't happen that quick. Like, I really didn't think it happened that quick. So I was kind of like, and I think that's why I feel with Hunter, because I'm like, no, it doesn't happen that quick. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And now 10 kids later, it's like, hey, it does. It happens that quick. It really does. So yeah, I do. I love that. I really do. I love your storyline. I love how you guys are able to intertwine it. I love your family dinners.
Thank you. Like,
oh my
God. It takes so much work to put together those family dinners, because dolls fall, and then you got to make sure everything looks right for the pictures. And I think like so many families in the world who actually get to come together, that's when you can just like build relationships and really experience the love. Even if they beefing, you can still feel the love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, now that she just said about beefing, okay, because you guys have had the beefing, but in recent time, and One Broken Waffle and I've had this conversation, and I'm telling you, it has been eye-opening for me. You just never do know how much what you do with your dolls is going to affect someone else. So when we talk about doll therapy and play therapy, it's not just for us who are interacting with our dolls and creating a storyline, because it's, therapy for us as your audience.
Okay, yeah.
Like, honestly, so you had Bianca, and I was kind of feeling Bianca and Nate's relationship. I knew that she didn't like him all the way,
right.
But still, she's older, and it was like, okay, you can have love again, and someone who is so devoted to you, and Nate seemed like he was. So when all of a sudden, the man from the past comes back, I was like, oh, okay, surely she's not going to fall for that. And yes, she did. So now they're back together. And how quick that she was to drop Nate. I was like, what?
She was like,
out
my baby home.
I was like, that's not right. And you were like, but you said something. And it really did strike a chord with me. You were like, why would she hold on to something that she already knew was over? She didn't even really, she wasn't really liking him on that level. So why would she want to hold on to a relationship that wasn't going to go anywhere?
And that's like, why would you settle for something that you really don't want? Like, who does that? That's crazy.
Like,
you said what?
When she can have the thing that she really does want.
Right.
Been longing for and pining for years, and now it's available to her. Why wouldn't she?
Yeah. Especially that's who she's loved all her life. Like, she never stopped loving Griffin. Never. Like, she's the father, and then something happens and he disappears, and she still has a lot of love for him. And when he came back, she's like, nothing's gonna get in the way of this. Like, nothing's gonna stop me from getting back with this man. And he comes back comes back with a kid. So he's got his own, little side things that happen as well, but she can accept it because she loves him.
And see, I that resonated, like I said, that resonated me on two levels, because one, it made me really observe in my own life, like what things do I hold on to longer than what I need to? And then what things am I like quick to just be like, okay, it's done. And I know when it comes to my husband, when I first met him, like literally the first day, I was talking to somebody else. I guess you could kind of say like I was involved with someone else. But when I met him, I was like, oh, there's something so different about him. And I told the guy, I was like, hey, I can't talk to you anymore. Like, this is done. Like, literally, and that's what that reminded me of. Like, I told him, like, this is done. My mom was sitting on my bed while I was talking to him. She was laughing in the background. That's, I was just like, hey, this is done. He's like, well, did you meet somebody? I was like, dude, I have so much schoolwork and stuff. This is just not going to work. This is not going to work. And so, I was in grad school. I was like, this is just not going to work. But I knew when, like, the very first day, I was like, he's so different. You know, the way that he looked at me was different, and I never had anyone look at me on that level and talk to me in that way. So I was just like, I want to try this. I want to see what this is.
When you find that, you don't let that go.
That's for real, you know.
Like, now y'all got 10 kids. Like, praise God, you know. That's a good thing.
It's true. It's true. So I resonate with Bianca on this. Like, this is my man. I love him, and I'm not gonna, you know, just like you said, I'm not gonna settle for anything less. But then, like I said, it made me think about what other things in my life do I hold on to because I feel obligated.
Yeah.
And so I do, like I said, I like that you put that in there, because judging by the comments and the feedback, I was the only one who was like wondering
like, what
things do I hold on to.
But we haven't forgot about Nate. Nate is still in there. We took pictures, and we're gonna put some stuff out there that's gonna really blow y'all mind.
I like
oh my gosh, it's about.
I like that. And I love the fact that George was like, ooh.
Like, he always has the best facial expressions for every piece of drama that happens in their lives. Like, he is the one that you look for to act crazy.
Yeah.
Because George was giving Phoenix a hard time for a little while there.
He was.
Yeah.
But he, you know, but you would expect that because he's the best friend.
Yeah. And he's
so he's like, Hunter, I need to, you know, I need to protect you, make sure that this is the right person for you. So I do. I like I said, I like how you guys have the characters that you have. And now, especially with Fun Size Girl, you've got some new characters in there.
Yes, because I have an abundance of dolls. Okay, I have a problem.
She does.
And shout out to my husband for always allowing me to get more dolls and for giving them to me at every holiday.
Thank you.
And for letting me just doll out.
Yes.
I have lots and lots of dolls. And when I get new dolls, we talk about characters, and Broken Waffle will help me name them. We've got quite a few young ladies coming into town that we're going to be introducing very soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Got some new young ladies coming in. We've got a...
Well, I'm very curious about this real estate lady. I've been checking her out, her story. I'm like, okay, what's going on with this?
Yes, coming through. She's showing off properties because, again, another part of my hobby is I like to get old doll houses and redo them. Like, I will paint them, I will repaper them, repurpose them for whatever I can think of. And so, yeah, I go thrifting quite a bit. And I find things and I'm like, ooh, yes, what can I do with this? And yeah.
I like that. I like that. So yeah, I'm really curious to see these new ladies who have come in town. Now, when we talk about Griffin, going back to Griffin and Consuela,
the daughter.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Are we going to find out about why he was gone?
Yes, you will. I promise.
Okay. I thought I had missed it. I was I was trying to search to see. I was like, did I miss what happened?
No, you didn't miss it. Like you put it out there and then you backtrack and then you foreshadow, and always to keep everybody on their toes and keep them guessing, because you don't want to always go linear, because life is boring. Like, we live in the past, we hope for the future, so their stories will be the same way. I like notes.
So I am. I love taking notes. Perpetual student over here. But yeah, so if you are watching this, you watch this on replay, you save this, there goes your tidbit, your big nugget right there. We live in the past, we hope for the future. So it's always like, even with my new storyline, I've done it in the past, being able to have those flashbacks, being able to talk about, just like you said, with the foreshadowing, what happened in the past, being able to keep your audience involved. Because when we have like the movies that we enjoy the most or the books we enjoy the most, is because it switches back and forth in time. So I like that. I like that you said we don't really just deal with linear, because our minds aren't just linear.
Yeah.
So I do. I like that. I like that. All right. Now, do you guys have any mini-me's involved in your storyline?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
I do not.
I do have mini-me dolls. I have a mini-me of me and one of my husband that I've done, but they rarely come and play with my characters. Like, rarely. Very rarely. Sometimes I will take my mini-me to school and I will let my students see her, and they usually try to hide her from me or steal her, run off with her. But it's all in good fun.
Is this high school?
Yes, I teach high school students.
I know
So
it.
getting them to play with dolls, and I do have dolls set up in my classroom, I feel like I am totally winning when I can get 17 and 18-year-olds to play with dolls. I can still remind them that they are children. And that it's okay to be children, because
I'm glad you do that.
No, you're not. You're still a child. Like, it's
I'm actually glad you do that. I worked with, before I had children, I was teaching in the school system, and I'm telling you, it can be hectic. It can also be very rewarding. I think that students, I shouldn't say kids, but students react according to who their teacher is.
Yes.
You know, and if you're someone who's really involved with them and they genuinely feel the love that you have for them and their education and who they're going to be in their future, then they will respond to that. On the other hand, if you're just there for a paycheck, you're just there because I graduated from school and I feel like I might as well use this education for a reason. They feel that too. And they're going to respond off. They're going to react off of that. So it's really, really good that you're showing them that, hey, there's nothing wrong with still, being in touch with who you are as a child, and allowing that playfulness, that imagination to still be active in you, because they need that. There's so many kids nowadays who
don't have it.
They don't have imagination. They don't have that. Everything is virtual. Everything's internet. So it's hard for them to really see, I have a future. I can become this. I can become that. Because a lot of our toys aren't really about imagination anymore.
No. It's about
so I'm glad you do that. Exactly. So when we say, hey, you can become a doctor, you can become a dentist, you can become a lawyer, they don't see that. And if they don't have anyone around them who's doing those professions, they don't believe it to be true.
Yeah, I agree.
So that right there ties in with what we do with our dolls, because our dolls can become that doctor, that dentist, that lawyer, that, president, and then you can kind of see yourself in them. So I like I said, I applaud you for that, because especially with high school, and they're so busy trying to fit in with everyone else and what they think makes them popular, they need to be able to know from a teacher and someone that they admire that I can still play with my toys and still be respected.
Yeah. And before the pandemic, I would go and love on her kids too, because I'm like, before I started working a real job, I would go to her school and do stuff. I would help her out in the classroom, like, whatever you need to do, I will file papers, I will rewrite the date for you, just let me know, and I'll do it. And then I end up meeting a lot of her students and building relationships with them as well. So that's rewarding as well.
Yeah.
It is. It really, really is. So I commend you for that. I really, really do. Since we are talking about storyline, where do you get your storylines from?
In my head. Like, there's so much going on in my head, between writing and then like really writing, because I am working on a novel and another screenplay, but to just like take a break and do something that I don't have to be so serious with. Like, let's try this out. Let me see what'll happen with this character if I decided to do this, and what about if we do this, and we'll see something crazy in the store, and it's like, hey, we should write that. You should write that, and we'll
Yes.
be like, pull out that the notepad and go to work with the typing up notes and figuring out what we want to use later. Yeah.
I agree. What about you?
Again, it comes from the head, things that I'm experiencing out in public. Just if I can think it up and put my characters in a situation, I will try it. Like, again, I knew I wanted Hunter to get pregnant, but I was like, Phoenix is all about her, and he's become a little obsessive, and he's gonna throw those pills away. He's gonna flush those pills. It just like it came to me, and I talked it out with Broken Waffle. She's like, "Oh yeah, we should do that."
And it made sense though, because he had become obsessed, and then you saw the way that he was with the baby.
Yes, like all the
and the way that he enjoyed seeing her. Yes, seeing her hold the baby.
And baby fever is real, people.
It really is. It really is. And it's so real that I learned how to make reborn dolls because my baby fever was so real. So it's real. It's a thing. It's a thing.
I made one reborn doll in between, I think, like baby number 7, like right before when I was pregnant with baby number 7. Oh my goodness. That's when I found out how real baby fever is, because there's a lot of people who buy reborn dolls.
Yep.
And either because they have kids or they don't, or, like they have an empty nest syndrome going on. They just love babies.
Yeah. And you put that little baby powder oil on them. Oh my gosh.
Baby fever is what caused him to just
lose it.
To flush her pills. Just gone. The fever took.
I'm glad that she forgave him though, because I was really concerned about that. I was like, but I know that she has a strong personality. And
okay, so let's be real. Let's be honest and transparent. When you love someone and you truly love them and you have committed to be with them, they are going to do things that make you so angry and betray you in ways and hurt you in ways that no one that you don't love could ever do. And forgiveness is a choice. I really wanted to show that, yes, she struggled with forgiving him. And they're still working it out. We'll probably see a few more rough patches here and there. But she's made the choice to be committed to him. And everyone's human. We all make mistakes. And don't we want to be forgiven when we make mistakes? Every single one of us, we want to be forgiven.
Yeah. And then you forgive so then you can have peace. You don't necessarily care about the other person, but you have to forgive it so you can keep moving forward in life. That's the only way that you're going to be free and, not have to have a whole bunch of worries, can't sleep at night, be running from your car to the house. You gotta
that one is just a personal stuff right there. You said running around. I'm like, I don't remember that in the storyline. But I'm gonna tell you something. I did like. I liked how Darius handled it. Darius was like, "Hey, you gotta go." Lauren was like, "Hey, you can stay here. You can bunk here as long as you want." Darius was like, "No, it's time.
She got to go home. Her and her husband got to work it out. That ain't our problem."
Darius, you know what I like is that Darius does not look like, because he looks like a really calm guy. He is calm, but he's very direct.
He is.
And I like that. I do. I like that about him, because there was a scene that you had as a reel and he whooped your boy's butt. I was like, what? I showed my husband the music with it and everything. And we're driving and he was just like, hey, there he is.
But do you know, me and Fun Size Girl, we sat and talked that thing out, because I said, look, the butt kicking is coming. And I had just built that city set, and I'm like, I have to use this, and Mike is gonna get it tonight. Like, he is gonna get it. I already knew the song because we had already talked about it, and that's one of my jams. And I said, we just gonna do this thing. And the pictures turned out really well, and it was everything I needed it to be.
It was, but all of us have been waiting for him to get his butt
Yeah.
quit, you know, but you know, beat for a while because he was just doing too much.
He was
Too much.
Now I'm hoping we get to find out who this was with the gun, though, because I'm like, who is that?
You already know.
Such good mystery.
You already know. It was Griffin.
I wanted to say it, but I was like, no. There you go. Spoiler alert. It was Griffin.
So I was trying to sneak it in there, but not be too direct. And yep, that was him, because he's been watching the whole time. And you'll find out he's always had his hand in their lives. Like, he was always present, but not physically, but they don't know that. So that's something that I just gave to y'all, and just be looking for how to story.
I know, like, thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, snap.
Got some pictures with Griffin talking with his brother at the farm, and working on some dialogue for that to go ahead and fill some folks in about what's been going on.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm excited. I'm excited because, I'm excited to see how, because I can already tell. I can already tell that Griffin is a well-developed character. So I'm really curious to know what his past is, who he was. I'm even curious as much as a dumb A as Mike is, which he is. I'm still, you know, looking forward to seeing him come right back into this picture because he said that he has information about him and Lauren. So I'm like, what's up with that? And you had some wild pictures going on where I was like, what?
Yeah, that was them wild pictures they were very real. It happened. Yeah.
So I'm very, very curious about that. So we're just really getting into, you know, if you're watching this right now, you watch this later, we're just getting into the point being that you don't give your audience everything.
Nope. Y'all still don't have everything. Even though I told you this, you still don't have everything. Like, so many surprises.
We really, really don't, you know. And then when we get into Hunter's life, I'm waiting to see her back at her studio because there was some drama that was breaking out right there as well.
Indeed.
And we get into seeing her as a fashion designer too. So I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing her back in the studio as well. Will we be seeing that since she is pregnant?
Yes, we will, because I enjoy sewing doll clothes. I have been sewing since I was 8 years old, and Mattel's probably going to be upset with me for saying this, but everything does not have to be pink.
I agree.
And let's get some functional clothing. Okay, we need some functional clothing. Everything is all the way flat. Not everything is cut down super low or spaghetti strap or halter style. Let's get some clothing. Okay.
And we need curvy clothes.
We need petite clothes. We need clothes for various age groups, because I was going through and redoing Tabitha's clothes because Tabitha and Hank are Hunter and Lauren's parents. And so I was like, Tabitha cannot be dressing like a spring chicken. She is a mature woman. She is having grandchildren.
Yeah.
She can still dress sophisticated, sexy, but we need to grow her up a little bit more.
Yes.
And so I really started looking at her clothes and said, okay, we need to make clothes for Tabitha and make some more grown-up clothes for Bianca. And Broken Waffle is really impressing me with her sewing skills as of late. She is coming through on these clothes that she's making. She made Lauren's Christmas pajamas. Absolutely adorable. And that was made from a thrift store shirt that I found, and we went on ahead and divided it. And I was like, here, you take half and I'll take the other half. And she went through and made her this beautiful Christmas pajama set. And I was like, well, shoot, what you need for? You got this. But yeah, so we will definitely see more of Hunter in her sewing studio. And she's brought George in as her second partner.
Yay, George.
Yes.
Work with your best friend, but definitely doing some more male and female clothes. And let's get a little bit more functional and age appropriate.
Yep.
See, I like that. I like that. And so a wonderful note that I take from that is if you don't see it available through Mattel, make it yourself. So
And save a lot of money. Save a lot of money.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
true.
one of the things that I challenged her to do, because she has no problem getting what she wants. And I said, hey, let's try to be, let's work on saving a little bit more money. And you know how to sew and I know how to sew. So let's make our own clothes so then they can be even more unique, because that a wardrobe adds to the character as well. Because if you look at Hunter, she wears the chains with the wallets all the time. And, you know, because she's a tomboy. So you can gather that from, you know, the way that she dresses. And I don't want to see my doll wearing everything that everybody's wearing, you know? So learn how to.
I agree. Now, where did you learn how to sew?
When we were younger, because we didn't have money. So we would take old clothes, cut them up and sew them up. Like, that's how we got our dolls dressed. We made our own clothes. And we just kept working on it and getting better. And that's that's something that is true with everything. The more you work on it, the better it gets. Whether it be writing, crafting, just whatever you put your mind to do. If you keep working on it, it will get better.
Yeah. And one year our brother gave us, after he saw how dedicated we were to sewing and doing projects with sewing, he got us a bunch of fabric and sewing supplies one year for Christmas. And we just went crazy and continued on henceforth. And
I still have my scissors and I still have my tape measure that he got me. That was like a long time ago. I still have mine.
And I still have a few pieces of the fabric of the original.
I don't have that. But yeah.
You used all yours. And
how many years ago was this?
I was 12, so that's about 20.
Yeah, more than 20 years.
Over 20 years. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow. We're all about the same age. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is. And when you can get support, like support from your partner, support from your family, it does help. It really does.
It really does. Yep.
But let's see here. So my next question, because I know that both of you guys are very prolific in writing. Do you script ahead of time, or do you script as you post, like as you're putting the picture up? Do you put the script up there?
Most of the time I script as I post.
Wow.
It to be fresh and off the dome, because it'll be more juicier than what I could have thought of. Yeah.
A little bit of both for me. After I take my pictures, I usually like to go through and do my dialogue to do my scripting. But I give where I want to go, and then once I see the pictures, then I go ahead and develop for that.
Yeah. And that's like storyboarding, because I went to film school too. So it's a form of storyboarding, but with actual pictures and posing. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I really do. My question next, which has to do alongside of how you do your storylines, is that you do have more of an adult content, which doesn't bother me, of course. But how are you able to manage that with your page, and with your audience, as far as whenever you have more adult content for a post?
Try to warn them ahead of time and put that little sense up there, like, look, 18 and up. Even in the profile, you just let people know I don't create for children. So don't get mad if you see something that you don't like, because it's not for them. We're an adults and we do adult things. And so our dolls will reflect that. That's how I feel. But Deborah, fun size. She's a little bit more bold in her adulting.
I always have to think about something too in Phoenix. So I'm like,
Yep, she is.
I feel like I did say in my profile that it's for 18 and up. I do give a warning. And if that's not your thing, please feel free to skip it.
Mm-hmm.
Have options.
Yeah.
And another thing is when I have some students who are 18 and older who want to subscribe to my page, and I'm fine with that. But anyone under 18, I'm like, no. They're like, can I follow your doll page? No, you may not. And if I ever let you up here, I will block you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not for you. It's adult
Yeah.
content. And I do teach high school students. I'm very aware that there is a difference between what can be expressed with them versus what I express on my doll page.
Yeah.
Not for children. Definitely not for children.
Mm-mm.
So if you are a child and you are following my page, please leave. Please leave, because it's not meant for children.
Yeah.
Not meant for children. It's for adults.
I agree. I agree. I know, like, even for myself, there are some, like I try to keep my page maybe about PG-13 because I do have my kids scrolling through my page. But in the same hand, when I'm on my Instagram, I let them know, I'm like, hey, don't be looking at my phone. I do. I kind of like hurt the body. I'm like, hey, get out of my phone. So, because, I'm an adult, I want to be able to have a little bit of something that's R-rated. But I have been kind of like wanting to, especially now that I've got my new doll right here that I have customized. I want to do a little bit more action scenes, if you will. And so it's always my question about how do you do that? What do you post ahead of time to let people know? And I feel that personally, it kind of enhances the story.
Yeah, because you be like, we about to get some real good right now. Because sometimes you just need to see it. We do it as adults, so it should reflect in our dolls' lives as well.
I agree. And it may sound weird to people on the outside of what we do, but it honestly does enhances the chemistry of your dolls.
It really does.
It really, really does. Because some of my dolls that I've only had maybe like hold hands or something, it's harder for me to pull a storyline from. I'm very honest with you. It's harder for me to pull a storyline from. Other dolls that maybe like in my own personal time, I have had my dolls, collaborate in such a way, more sexually bonded. I can actually get more of a story from them. I get more of a story for them together as a couple and even as individuals. So I do feel that whenever you allow your characters to just express themselves and you don't suppress it, you do get a better storyline, a better dialogue from it.
And that's how Hank was so upset, because Lauren and Darius, they were so proactive in that area, and he did not like it because he believed in you should be married, and if you love her, you would do right by her. And you can go back and see how Hank was treating him. Like, he was real foul towards Darius, and he had no love. But as soon as Darius made it official, he was like, welcome to the family. Welcome all the way to the family. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what is that? I used to always hear growing up, why buy the cow if the milk's for free?
Yep.
And it's true. You have, and I like that you have that in there. Like I said, you guys have very distinctive characters between the generations and individuals. And honestly, that's like a generational thing where it's like, if you can get it for free, you get all the loving, and you get, food brought to you and all this other stuff, all the amenities of what, we are accustomed to of thinking as marriage. Why would you get married? So I do understand that. By chance, how many Laurens do you have and how many Hunters do you have? Because Lauren's got a lot of different hair. And I think you had a post before, and I saw like 4.
I think I have
different
5 or 6.
Oh wow!
I have one that's bald, that I'm going to make wigs for, so I can just like totally switch it up. But I do have different hairstyles for each of the Lauren doll that I do have, because I don't want to keep pulling her head off, because I might crack her neck, and it can be disastrous to like ruin a doll. Like for Hunter's wedding, her Clark doll got a stain on his face from a shirt, and oh my God, if she didn't have the extra doll, then the storyline would have been a disaster, because he's very important for another character that we have. So if you can get more than one doll, real talk, real talk.
Yeah, for Hunter, I think I maybe have 5 or 6 Hunters. I have about 4 Phoenixes. I have probably 4 or 5 Georges, just because of my main characters, because I have had situations happen where, again, the Clark doll, which is the Superman doll, he got really messed up the night before we were taking pictures for the wedding. And and then I remembered, I was like, wait a minute, we have another head, because I buy doubles. Folks, talk about me all you want. Yes, I'm buying up all the made to move bodies. It's me. You want to know who's pregnant? It's me. Okay. And yeah, it's me buying them, because I do head swaps and I will buy doubles. I will buy at least 2 of a doll normally when I purchase them, because I understand that sometimes things that are beyond your control, like that horrible shirt messing up his face that night. I mean, I was distraught. I was completely distraught.
It does. It does. It throws you off. Even like some of my dolls that I'm looking at them right now, but some of my dolls that are not main characters probably won't have them in the storyline again. It does make me upset whenever their body gets messed up. Whenever their body gets stained. And I find that I get more stains on, of course, like my fair skin dolls and, you know, my lighter brown skin dolls.
Yes.
Especially on the arms and stuff. Yeah. And then, like you said, like on the face, like I had to put the acne cream on. So if you can get 2 and 3 or 6 of the same ones, I don't blame you. I really, really don't. Because especially when it's like a main character that you know that you're going to be photographing often.
Yeah.
If they're not, you know, well kept, something happens to them, who you're going to take pictures of. Oh, and it does bother
we
you.
do store our dolls. She started it, but we store them in the gallon Ziploc bags. So then you can keep them from getting messed up like that too. Yeah. So if we're traveling, everybody's in a different bag.
And in my storage at home, which I have plenty of dolls, I store them in plastic bags, and the gallon Ziploc bags, put them in there and put them in the containers. That way they're not touching anything but clear plastic.
Yep.
And do you have them naked, or do you have them with clothes on?
Most of them are in clothes, although there are some that are naked. But also I have an idea that I totally took from my Froggy stuff. I store my doll clothes in binders with the trading cards. And just for Hunter, I have 3 binders worth of clothes. And then for my other dolls, like some of the dolls, they have their own binder because, again, they have a certain look to them. Like, you know, their wardrobe helps enhance who they are. And then I have like general clothes. When I tell you I have over 20 2 to 3 and 4 inch binders in my craft, like I got, y'all, it's embarrassing. I got a lot of stuff.
Not me. Not me.
When Broken Waffle wants to shop for new clothes, sometimes for her dolls, she'll just come and pick out of what I have here.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
I don't even feel bad. I don't feel bad.
And I'm like,
she the plug. Like, she's the Barbie plug.
I'm like, take what you want. Just take what you want.
But it helps to be organized. It does. I was trying to organize my stuff, and right now I got all my stuff just like in one big bag, and then I got them all like, you know, like the clothes in like Ziploc bags. But it's just not the same. Like when I was younger, I used to have like the Barbie closets and stuff, and right now, you know, my kids and stuff is like, you know, where are you gonna put that space? Is it for their toys and their stuff, or is yours? See, I like that, and I did see my Froggy stuff had the binders. Oh,
so
I like
exactly
that.
what they have, and who has what, and what I need to make more of.
Yep.
So yeah,
and I do it because she told me to.
Okay, no. You were looking for outfits and you were looking for clothes, and you would be like, I know I had this. I know I have it. And well, if you had it in a binder, you could just flip to it and find it.
Very true. Now I have binders. I have them. I have them. I have them. Oh, and
And it
those
does. I imagine it does.
the clear containers for the shoes. Do you have that on you, Deborah? I mean, fun girl.
Okay.
Yeah, those right there for the shoes and other accessories.
But it's color coded. I like that.
Mhm.
So I have my girl shoes, guy shoes, and I separate them according to size because you know the tall and the curvy have larger feet, and so they can't always wear the same shoes as everyone else. I have those separated, and then of course I have, like, you know, when I have multiples of the same shoes, I'll put them all in one place, so it's easier for me to get to. And when I separate my clothes, I have curvy binders, I have original binders, petite binders, kin binders, and the various sizes of kin. Yeah.
That's why she goes over there, not just because your sister, but it's easier to get clothes. Shoot. I'm ready to go over there. I'm like, sure. Forget my stash.
Oh,
Ooh, it's too hard to try to figure out. You're just sorting through stuff. I like that.
Yeah, I have lots of stuff, and I started playing with my Barbies again. I want to say maybe 2005. 2006, I went through a very traumatic breakup, and I had been knowing this person that I was dating since I was 13. And I said, what did I do before him that made me happy? And it was my Barbies. And so I just started, you know, buying clothes for them when I would find them, get my old Barbies out. And whenever I would get really stressed, I would just change their clothes and play with them by myself. And then it began to evolve. And I was like, I enjoy this.
Side note, for Barbs, for us, yes, the clothes are easy to take in and out. Yes, they're easy. Yeah.
Yes, they're. Oh, I can show you. Hold on. Very easy to take in and out. So when I have my binder open, you just take my little pants out, and then I fold them because I'm a bit of a laundry Nazi, and just stick it right back in. So once I'm done, I can go in and get another outfit for her.
The only downside is you have to keep them upright, because if
Pour them upright.
you fall or turn upside down, those clothes will fall out.
And you will be
pissed.
Yeah, you'll be mad dog. When your clothes fall out.
Now, where did you get those inserts from?
Walmart and Amazon. And it's the baseball card holders. Or the coupon. You can get them when you coupon.
Yep.
Okay. And she said thanks. And we are going to get some questions going. I have one more thing though. I actually got two more questions. When do you photograph? Do you have like a set day, or do you just photograph whenever you get a chance?
Whatever.
Whenever we get together, we purposely try to take pictures. Just because we know we can have all the dolls together, but normally it's on a whim. Like, I don't ever plan seriously when I'm going to take pictures. I'm just like, I feel like taking pictures and putting some more of the story out there.
And when we have events like the weddings,
take
the wedding pictures ahead of time.
Way in advance.
Take those in advance.
Because I take all the pictures, and I don't take just 20. When I finish taking pictures for like a large scale event, for her wedding, I had over 200 pictures. For my doll wedding, I had over 300 pictures. So I'm very passionate about my storytelling in picture form, and that's real.
And I've said this. Broken Waffle will disagree with me, but I think she's the much better photographer. So when she comes over and she's like, "Let's take pictures," I'm just like, "Tell me what you need." like
y'all, she be working me.
But she works me equally, because she's like, I need this. Give me more. We need to set up this good space. And I'm like, okay, yes. Like for her doll's wedding, my kitchen table was completely cleared off. We did it like in front of the windows. Just so I'm like, you're gonna take the pictures. Tell me what you need.
Yeah.
Okay, but us, you are so very welcome. No problem.
I like that. Now, how long did it take you guys to plan those weddings, though?
hers or mine, because she made all the bridesmaids dresses for my doll's wedding because she got skills.
It was
I
a
think
thrift store dress that already had cuts. All I had to do was fit them and sew.
I love this. Y'all got some
like
sister love going
we did
on.
it for spring
I
break.
do.
So could we have spring break at the same time? She works in the classroom. I work in the office with the school system for the same school system. And
Wow.
you know, we was like, hey, we have this break coming up. Let's take pictures. And so I had to take all the stuff to her house because that's where we did it. And we spent all day, and I do mean all day, taking pictures for that daggone wedding. And I was done with it by the time we finished. But I think it turned out well.
It did.
Yeah.
It
So
did.
we always try to do it within 2 or 3 days before we post or something, because it's nerve-wracking to try to do it the day of for something that magnitude.
This is such a big event.
Yeah.
And time constraint.
Yeah. And dolls falling and tearing down the whole set.
A 20-minute or a 30-minute project, you know, that you think is going to take that long ends up taking hours.
Yeah.
Just honestly, you know, because just like you see me like fixing her eyes. I mean, like we're talking about like lights going into the eyes when you take a picture and you got to redo it. And so you already know it takes way longer than what you want it to. But then the end result.
And for Hunter's wedding, I made all the groomsmen suits. Like I made Phoenix's suit and the groomsman suit, and I made Hunter's dress. And doing those things, I remember when I first made the dress, making the dress only took me about a night. It took me an evening.
Okay.
And I took it to my mom's house. I took it to Broken Waffle, and I was like, what do you think? And she's like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. But so sewing their clothes did take a while. And then all the dolls that were there, I had to go and dress them.
Yeah.
When I tell you it took a long time to dress those dolls, like, folks,
But look, I made all the food for the wedding.
She made all the food.
Get that stuff done. Because she can get it. She be like, look, she's going to get it. She's going to get it.
Which, in my Broken Waffle stash, I do have a lot of food that has been gifted to me. I never take my sister for granted. I'm always grateful that she makes me anything because she doesn't have to, but she does. But I also support her business. I am usually the first person who makes a purchase. But it was this one time, and I said I was going to mention it. There was this turkey sub.
I got your subs. Yes, yeah, I love it.
It was a turkey sub, and I had been looking at it, and I was like, I'm trying to, you know, be courteous to the other shoppers and give them a chance to purchase things that they may want. And somebody purchased that turkey sub, and when I tell you I was devastated, I said, never again will I be kind to other folks and let them get a chance to purchase. If you do not get it when she posts it, I'm coming for my dolls want to eat good too.
And it's worth it. It's so worth it. It is. It is.
And she goes, I can make you more. And I'm like, okay, but that's not the point. It was this turkey sub that had really caught my
I'm like, I hope it wasn't me. I'm like, oh,
I said, whoever it was.
Oh, gosh.
I know I got a turkey
The
sub.
one that got away.
I took the pictures with it, with the Heidi and Kai, and I got a whole lot of response about that turkey. In fact, some of my best pictures came out of that because that was the one where Kai looked like he was about to give her a romantic kiss, but his hand was on the sub instead. I don't know what it was about your food, but it brought out a whole nother like personality out of my Kai character. I was like, what?
It might be that sub. It might be. It's the one that got away. It's really the one that got away.
Oh, God. Y'all, see, when I tell you that comes up all the time. Like, not here. That's something that she rehashes all the time, talking about forgiveness. So whoever you are, like, look, I have the sub.
It wasn't me.
So she can forgive me, so she can move out.
It wasn't me. I just from you, because you do have multiple characters, and what would be your, in your own perspective, in your opinion, what would be your pros and your cons about having multiple characters?
Move. Sorry, I'm talking to my dog. He is just doing too much.
You're fine.
Move. Move.
You're fine. Just trying to get in. He's just trying to get in. He's like, invite me. Invite me.
He's old. Like, he's old. He can't hear, so I don't want to be yelling. And I got the clap so then he can understand what I'm saying.
How old is he?
He is what, like 13?
Oh,
yeah. He's old.
Crystal, you have a question. Will you be doing more breakfast foods on your E-Day?
I will. I just made breakfast food, but for my stash, because I like to do I like to experiment with my own kitchen first. But I will be making more food and opening my store back. Yeah. Yep.
yes. And she does. And will you please let everybody know your Etsy shop name?
I think it's Broken Waffle. One Broken Waffle. I had to double check because it's been so long since I posted to there. But usually it'll be on brokenwaffle.com because I do pay the extra to have that unique name. Or what is URL? Yeah.
And that's on Etsy.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you can always get your food purchases on Etsy, One Broken Waffle. I'll put that in the caption as well.
But it's having multiple dolls. The hardest part of having the multiple dolls is, I want to say I have my main dolls, but I also want to make sure I showcase the others and tell their stories. Because, you know, some people may get tired of Hunter and Phoenix, and that's fine. We want to know what's going on with George and Andrew. Oh, thank you, Daddy.
Thank you.
W3
Productions. That's Fun Size Girl's husband, and he does awesome stuff, y'all. You go follow his stuff too, because he is doing real big things with animation, with storytelling.
Oh, wow.
So
yep.
my husband got into animation because I have been working on a comic book for many years, and he's going to animate it for me once I'm done, which has been quite a while. I'm still working on it, y'all. But yeah, my husband, W3 Productions, he went ahead and put it up. He does amazing work. Just amazing.
He is super awesome, not just because that's her husband, but he's my brother.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. And
I love it. I love it.
Fuel my doll habit and all of the things that I have here. He allows me to do that and supports me with them and gives me new dolls every time. As a matter of fact, the new petite look doll came out, and he had ordered me one, and I had two in the mail coming, and so they came at the same time, and he opens it for me. He's like, "This is for you," and I get this huge grin on my face, and I'm like, "It's two more in that other box you just brought up." Yeah. So it's been mania and madness of me and my dolls. And one day he came home from work, and I had all the doll houses, my foldable doll houses, just set up around the house.
It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot.
I mean, they were just set up in full furnished, everything just set up around the house. And he comes in, he takes a look, nods his head, and then just walks back out the room. So he is supportive.
And you do. You have to have someone who's supportive of our habit, right?
Yes.
You do. Because you have someone who's just, you know, working against you and really doesn't understand what you do, it makes it harder to enjoy what we're passionate about. But when you have someone who's supportive, yes.
Oh, and for anyone who is interested in creating a character for my mom, she wants to have a doll named LaQuisha May. And LaQuisha May's got to be a little country. So whoever wants to create LaQuisha May in honor of our mother, please do it and send it to us so we can show her that there is a LaQuisha May out there for her to enjoy. Crazy.
Okay, that's LaQuisha May. So we'll put that in the caption as well. So you're looking for a one-of-a-kind doll, or are you looking for them to build a character?
A country girl character, LaQuisha May.
Because I don't have the passion to do that. I'm not gonna lie. That's not my passion or my ministry.
But my mother is just obsessed that there needs to be a LaQuisha May doll.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are putting out, I guess, a challenge in case anyone wants to take on this challenge to create a Lucretia May. So if you could please, ladies, if you could DM me so I can make sure that I spell Lucretia May right. I know M-A-E, but I want to make it could be M-A-Y. So please DM me the name so I can put that in the caption about being able to create. You want them to create the dynamics of who she is as a character, or to actually like create a one-of-a-kind doll?
All of it. Let's go all in.
Okay.
All.
Mama don't want to be left
She
out.
really don't. Because let me tell y'all, she come in here and sit and mess with my dollhouse. People come over. She all at the top pulling my food out. I'm like, look what she made. Look at this. I just love it. Oh my gosh, I'm sitting here. And got my uncle coming over here just sitting watching the dollhouse. I'm like, they ain't just nothing happening. Craziness. But you know, I love it. They supporting the dream. They supporting the habit.
Oh goodness, see, and I'm in your boat. I'm in the same boat as far as, you know, having people support my habit between my husband and my mother as well, getting me different dolls and so forth. So yes, I fully understand.
You know.
I do. It's like, you know, you're trying to build your own empire.
Yes.
By yourself. You're like, Mom, why don't you create your own? Get your own little dolls and create your own Instagram, but they won't do it.
Look, talk about building an empire. I said that's what Sims 4 is for. I don't know how many of y'all play it, but you know, that's cheaper than Barbie. Okay? You can do everything.
But also, before we get off here, let's talk about a little bit of some Sims. Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims 4, which I don't know if they're going to come out with the Sims 5. I got my paper here. But I am able to create really good, really good names from my Sims. And then I can like transfer those names to my dogs. And there's like certain interactions, like I've recently played after I hadn't played for a long time. And it is an addiction. Like I hadn't played in a while. I was having some withdrawals. It had been like a long time. And I was finally able to get on there. And there's a character named Flex. I don't know the rest of his name. He's actually like a computerized character. And he's non-committal. Finally got him with my doll, who's, you know, all about commitment. And she's an artist. And he himself is like all about working out. Doesn't really like commitment. Some weird stuff happened. I got them married, got them back to the house. And he was not in the house. I was like, when the heck does this happen? God. I thought Sam had an issue. And then I figured it out. I was like, okay, since he doesn't like to commit, I guess that's why he didn't come in the house. I had to like ask this dude to get in the house with his wife. And then he had somebody else that he was with. It was really, really weird. But I like it because I was able to look at that and say, okay, I can create a character off of that. Because it's not the way that I would really think. So I needed to be able to see that interaction because I was just like, oh, okay, I can have a Ken, whatever his name's going to be. And he gets with someone and he's just like a hard to obtain kind of guy. And then after he gets with somebody, it was really, really crazy. After he got with somebody and he's still married, she still kept him in the house. She had a fight with him and she was mad because he was kissing the other girl. I was like, yeah, kick him out. In my mind, I'm like, kick him out. She kept him there. She kept him there. And he smooth talked his way through it. I was like, this Sims 4 is really interesting. You know, all the interactions that they give you. And then the homegirl still tried to, like, the new girl tried to still, you know, talk to him. Then he didn't want to have anything to do with her then. I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. So when we talk about Sims, and you, like you said, it is cheaper than Barbie. But if you want to do a little Sims and your Barbies, you can create some personalities based off of what you have in the Sims.
And our dolls are in my Sims game as teenagers.
What?
Yes, I created them characters. They in there. Yes, ma'am.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Like we said, you can be able to build some really interesting characters off of your Sims. So don't neglect the Sims. And you're able to get on there. You'll be able to, especially like sometimes when you get like a drought, like a, you know, you just kind of go through like a writing drought. You don't really feel like writing storylines or playwrights. You can get on the Sims and really get rejuvenated in what you're doing. So Yeah, I agree with that. So is there any advice you would give to somebody who has multiple characters, who's wanting to do storyline, and this may be their first time, or they've been doing it, but they're kind of going through a drought? What would be your advice?
Change their clothes. Change their clothes. Put them in something different. Put them in a different situation, and just keep messing with them until you get some inspiration, or talk it out with somebody that you can trust who's into the same things that you are, or people watch if you can. People watching.
I love people watching, one, but understand that some writers like Broken Waffle and I, we have been writing pretty much our whole lives. And so if you're just starting out, it's okay to develop as a writer. Same thing with your photography. It's okay to develop. It's okay to figure out what techniques work for you, what doesn't work for you, how to play with lighting. It's a learning process. So don't expect to write a full novel in one night.
Yeah. And don't take yourself too seriously. You're supposed to be having fun. This is supposed to be a way for you to relax and connect with other people who have the same interests that you do. So, just put it out there. We're going to support you and we're going to love what you do.
And if you love it, your audience will love it. And for when you want to write emotional scenes, just a general rule, no tears in the writer, no tears in the reader. So, don't be afraid to go there either. Don't be afraid to give your doll some depth.
Yes.
Write about the uncomfortable things too.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to reach out to other people who you like. Because if you reach out to me, I'm going to talk to you and tell you whatever you want to know. I don't know how other people do things, but I will always try to help and encourage the best that I can. Yeah.
Same here. And again, as a teacher, I'm reading lots of writing all the time. So if anyone ever just wants to shoot something by me to have a look, I'm all for that. I do that in my day to day. So
yeah. And read. You have to be a good reader to be a good writer, because when you read, you download story structure and you learn how to do things. Even though you don't have a name for it, you're learning structure and learning what happens where, and that'll translate into your own work. Yeah.
I fully agree with you. And then when it comes to, I do want to put that disclaimer out there that if at any time you contact any of us, I can really say for other accounts, but as far as I'm thinking right now, you contact us with your story ideas, or, just like, can I shoot this by you? What do you think of this? Know that your ideas remain your own. So just in case someone's like, oh, I want to, but I'm really, really concerned if someone's going to take my idea.
You was like, look, I got too much going on in my head to be trying to steal somebody else's work.
Yeah.
Don't have time.
It's yours. It's yours. This is just out of pure love.
Yeah.
You have an idea, you're kind of concerned, how do I do this? What do I do? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
It's still your own idea. Completely. Yeah. So just want to put that out there. But I love that. And I do fully agree with you. Read. If you're not able to read a physical book, there's ebooks out there. There's what else out there? Audiobooks.
Tons of
there's just so many different ways.
Yeah. Yes. Tons of free stuff.
There's so many different ways to be able to to read. So I'm really, really thankful. I'm trying to see if you have any questions, I know that there's a lot of interaction on here, and I'm really, really thankful for that.
Yes,
I see my mother's on here. She said, good idea. Thank you for being on here. LOL, guilty. I don't change clothes enough. And I agree with you. Changing the clothes really does help you connect with your character a whole lot, and being able to hear what they say. Hi, everyone. Hi to you too, Unicorn Moon. I love you, ladies. Who's on here? Too. Yes, I have been stocking your shop by Purple Consular.
I love you.
Broken Waffle is your Etsy. And let's see here. This is wonderful, ladies. I'm parked in the parking lot of Joann's Fabric. I gotta go. Lots of love. That was Barbie Paints. Oh,
Oh,
thank you. Thanks.
don't spend all your
That was
money.
beautiful. It's easy to do. It's nice to have a partner. It's wonderful about your binder. This is what families is for. I do agree. Wow, binders. Yeah, it does help out a whole lot. So if you have any questions for about the next 60 seconds or so, thank you so much for coming. Quit toying with me. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Darius was so right. Yeah, we've been really enjoying the development of Darius. Oh my gosh, yes. Like I said, Darius is like that quiet character. He reminds you of somebody who's really, really quiet, just looking and observing, and then he, says something. I like the action they each give to each other. Fun, fun, fun girls. So yes, if you have any questions, please put it out here right now, or any comments. If you've been checking out the pages.
Thank y'all for tuning
and you have a
in.
question.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
So, yes. So, I don't see other questions on there. I thank you, ladies, for being on here with me. I've had a really good time getting to know you and getting to know about your characters more. And I'm just really excited to see what's going to happen next. Yes, thank you, ladies. Yes. So, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next. With each and every one of your characters. And I'm so glad that you really do take the time from what you do professionally in order to just grace us with the plays that you do have, with the playwriting that you have.
Thank you.
So I'm excited. Now with your novel, because I know that you said you do have a novel coming out, is are you going to keep us informed of like when you launch this?
I will. I've been working on this thing. It's a trilogy. So I'm still working on book 1, but I do have another one that I'm debating on publishing. Like, it's copywritten, everything is, I just need to publish it, but I write that under a pen. So those are the grown-up things. So I'll let y'all know if I decide to publish that one as well.
Yes, and I have that I need to publish. It's completed. I just have to get it copyrighted, go through, and we're going to edit it one more time before I get ready to put it out. And it is also under a pen name.
Yep.
Again, I teach high school students, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this falling into their hands.
Can't have babies reading this.
I fully understand. I got a pseudonym as well. So I do. I'm an indie author. I fully agree with you. It's so important to be able to have that pseudonym. Yeah. Multiple if you need to. We look at what is her name? R.K. Rowling, I do believe. With the Harry Potter series, she has 2 pseudonyms. So
very important.
We like Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is a pseudonym, So it's nothing wrong with being able to have that separation between who you are and then who you are as a writer. But definitely do keep us informed, because I would love to support you in that as well. Oh goodness, yes.
Right, we're gonna have to trade some more information.
Yes, I fully agree. I'm a big reader. Now for me, like I said, I love audiobooks, I love ebooks, but I'm really about print. Like whenever I can just touch it,
because I want to dog ear that page and highlight my book, like my favorite.
Yes, I was about to say, highlight, put little writing notes.
Little notes in the margins. That's me.
So you can do that in your e-reader too. You can highlight, you can bookmark, you can type your notes in. I like
whatever.
I'm for the books. Whatever format you can get it in, get it.
Whatever.
She says that, but I have an entire, like, my office is full of books, like hard copy books, but also in my e-reader, I think I read well over 100 books a year. 100 titles. I read well over 100 titles a year. Oh, and I'm a smutaholic. I read all the smut. Like, I read all the smut. So, yeah, I read well over 100 titles a year.
One of my favorite books, before we get off here, I should say genre books, was the romance novels.
Yes.
My a lady that I was really, really close to, I called her my aunt. She was real close to my mom. They were like sisters when we first came here to Louisville. And she gave me a box of books because she knew how much I love to
That's
read.
where it started.
And I was like, yay! I went home and I knew when you go to like page 62, 63, somewhere right in that middle part, you were going to get a real juicy love scene. And I was like, oh, yeah. My mom took them from me. She put them in her closet and I took them back. And I took them over to my best friend's house and lived across the street.
Because I'm going to read those books. Ain't nobody keeping this from me. Nobody.
I did. So here you go. So here goes the announcement. So yeah, I would go over there, go read it. And then eventually I told her, I was like, Michelle, I want my books back. Because she was older than me by like 6 years or so. She was like, no, you're not getting them back. So I didn't get them back. But I still, to this day, I love romance novels. I really do. I write children's, I write, more of your adult genre, but I haven't, and I write, research-based pieces as well, but I have not gotten into the romance part, and that's really what I desire to get more into.
It is very
So
challenging.
it is. And some people may go, oh, because on the surface, it looks really easy, like, oh, you just say that he, kissed right here, or he, licked right here, he did this. And it seems really, really simple. No, because you can't write licked 14 times, And then you've got, you have to really create that scene in the person's mind. It is not that easy to write. I don't care if you're, sexaholic. It's still not easy to write it. So, and then you have to like mentally get yourself there.
And they be like, oh my God,
to be
I
able
can't
to
believe you read
like
that. And I'm like, that is not me. That is not me. I do not live my life like that.
Yeah.
But I can write it.
Saying licked, you might say devoured, consumed. I mean, there's so many ways you can say that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, you have to get into your synonyms to be able to do it. And it's the same thing, just like if you write it here on Instagram. Now granted, we have the pictures that kind of like help us, so we can go ahead and get a little bit more graphic and show some details without having to write it. But when you talk about being able to write that in your novel, that's really different, because the source does become your friend. It does. And when you're typing it, thank God you can go ahead and like right click on synonyms. Right click. So yeah, I've been working on one myself. Like I said, for romance, that's been something that's been generating for quite some time. And honestly, the Doustagram community is what has helped me to do that, because I've always wanted to and never did. But pages such as you two ladies has really encouraged me to want to, just dive into that area of myself and not just have that be suppressed.
And if you need somebody,
because I've always wanted to.
We are for you. We can do that. Most definitely.
Most definitely.
Still remember your story, because we're not taking.
Nope.
Most definitely. Because I used to have my dad, prior to him passing, that I would send my stuff to, because had like multiple degrees, and one of the things that he was into was English and writing. And so he would, mail it back to me and have all kinds of like little red marks.
That's her. I edit in blue, because I'm not upset with your work. I edit in blue.
He would have red marks. I was like, oh, did you like it? And he's like, well, Rashida, Kanita, this is what you need. I'm sorry, I put my whole name out there. He was like, this is what you need to correct. And I was like, oh, I need to know if it, but it helped me for where I'm at right now, because he was, very, I don't want to say much as critical, but he critiqued, he was very much about mastery over just putting it out there. So when you talk about, you said you're going to edit it again, you guys are going to edit it again before you put it out there. That's what I think about, is the importance of going over it once, twice, 3, 4 times. And we talk to our kids about that. My husband and I, whenever they do their research papers and their PowerPoints, we're like, when you do this, you have to do it more than once. You can't just be satisfied with that first draft. Put a second draft in there. Put more details. Go back over it. Make sure that you spelled everything right. What else can you add in there? What else have you learned or experienced that you can put into your third draft? It is so important. And that even goes with our storylines for our dolls. We're still keeping this about dolls, guys. Because you can go back over, especially if you script ahead of time, go back over it. Make sure that it makes sense.
There are times when I will go back and read a post that I put up and it's like, "Ooh, I didn't mean to put that." And I'll go ahead and hit the edit button and go ahead and fix it right there. Yeah.
And there's
I'm
nothing
glad
wrong
you said
with
There's
going
nothing wrong with that.
or yeah.
But for
No.
I just did that recently. I put my dolls and moved to Texas, and I was like, "Do I really want to say Texas?" I was like, "With the, let me go back and say Arkansas," because actually my people are from Arkansas, and I'm doing my own little like find your roots in real life. And I said, "Why don't I have them be from Arkansas?" So I was like, if somebody saw Texas, and someone DM'd me, they were like, "Oh, they moved to Texas. You moved to Texas." I was like, "No, go back. It's Arkansas."
Yeah, like
We're like, because I know about that.
We're in somewhere in Virginia, and so it's like it's in Virginia. That's all you know.
Yeah, somewhere in.
Yeah. So there's no harm in editing, and a lot of times I think sometimes I'm not gonna say all the time, but I have noticed that there may be something that someone posted like a few months ago, and then they'll post again, and it may contradict. And we often do that, but I think at times we may forget we got that edit button. You can hit edit. It's like whatever you want. You may have had somebody that you named Lucille, and then later on you look at that doll and you're like, "I'm gonna name her Tracy." Don't be afraid to go back 2 months ago and change Lucille's name to Tracy.
But we do write all the names down.
Yes, we write down.
Because that's hard to mess up. I mean, that's real easy to mess up. It's too easy.
I
changed Michelle's last name like 3 times.
We did. We changed her name like 3 times. As a favor to a friend who also follows my page, I am going to go through, and Phoenix is going to take photographs of everyone to put their names underneath so people can know which characters are which.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard to follow, especially with writing characters. So we're just going to put their picture up and tell you who they are.
Yep.
And that still fits with our question about pros and cons. So one of the cons about having multiple characters is that it is very easy to mix up the names. It's very easy to be like, "Oh, I think this was such and such," and then trying to like remember who's related to who or who's friends with who, or maybe they have nothing to do with anybody. And even if you have yours down pat as the writer, we also have to account for the audience that may not remember who's who. So I do like that you said, "I'm going to go back, have Phoenix take pictures and show who's who."
Yep.
So this has been a very informative conversation. Like I said, I've enjoyed getting to know you guys. We're going to stay in contact. Yes. So yeah, we've been I think it was like last year I had talked to you about having this, and I'm so glad that we had it together with both of you ladies.
I'm happy I said yes finally. Because I was fighting it.
Well, it was the right time. This was something that we all three needed to have a conversation on, and not just the two of us, but all three of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just such good vibes. I love it. So without any other questions or comments, we're gonna go ahead and close on out. I'm gonna be talking to you ladies later. Please do give me that name again for Lucretia so I can make sure I spell her name right. And we can put that challenge down here at the bottom and put your Etsy shop. And I'm also gonna put your husband's information if you would like, W3 Productions. For everyone to check that out. We're huge on comic books. So once you get that comic book out, we would love to support that as well. My husband and I, we've done voiceovers for cartoons. So we're like,
my husband's always looking for that. So that's awesome.
Yep.
Check out Southwood Gang Adventures, although it's not out anymore, but it's still on YouTube. Okay. I did the voice of like Wee Wee. My husband did the voice for Snappa and Buddha. And we loved it. So yeah.
All right. Fun times.
I saw your hand up. What were you about to say?
I was just going to say fun times. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I saw one broken up. I was like, hey, you can tell we're all teachers, right? We're like, hand up.
Out of hand.
I homeschool now, and my kids, when they have something to say, they're like,
yep. Throw their hand up real quick to strangers.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what we do hey, teacher household is like, don't talk unless your hands up.
Indeed.
So I've enjoyed this conversation. We will talk. I'm definitely going to talk to you ladies about being able to write romance novels because I admire what you do in that field. So I would love to talk to you ladies.
Got lots of information to give.
Thank you. And congratulations on your doctorate.
Thank you.
I'm praying for you as you go through that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be finished soon
I
too?
hope so, yeah. I still have to conduct my research and all of that, and then finish up my dissertation. But
I can't wait to have those, like just that word dissertation roll off my mouth. That's gonna happen. It's like, I think it's awesome. I do. So yeah, that's actually like one of my goals. Not quite right now, but
yeah,
a goal after I get the kids together. Yeah, right. You said no, not no.
Nope, not for me. I'm not going back to school. Nope. Nope.
I was a professional student for so long that this real life is like hitting hard. I'm like, man, I miss school time. I still got some courses that I do online, but it's not quite the same, like the demand and pressure of,
Yeah.
yeah.
the stress and the sweat of trying to get
This
it done.
dissertation is taking me through it, but very worth it. As a matter of fact, I'm doing an internship this semester, so my time will be a little bit more limited. So I will be taking pictures whenever I'm not like doing stuff for school or work. Yeah.
I fully understand. Well, we're still here. We're still here. That's the good thing about the dog community. We're still here.
Yeah.
So it has been fun, ladies, and I will be talking to you. Thank you so much for being with us here. Mr. Prepara, One Broken Waffle, Fun Size Girl in 1/6 World. Check us out. Continue to have an awesome day today.
All right, folks.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, ladies, again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.